सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Let me start this episode of Politically Correct with some nuggets from the past. When Sharad Pawar was a young man, way back in 1958, when he was 18 years old, he went to the Congress office in Pune to register himself as an active Congress member. His entire family was ideologically inclined to the Peasants and Workers' Party. You know, a left-leaning party founded by some congressmen who wanted to pursue, Marxist-Leninist ideology more aggressively. That was PWP. Pawar's mother was elected to the Pune local board on a Congress ticket, but she was also ideologically close to the PWP. His brother Vasant Rao, he was an active member of the PWP and contested the 1960 Lok Sabha bypoll in Baramati. Pawar campaigned for the Congress candidate in that election, in fact against his brother, who eventually lost. In 1962, when Yashwantrao Chavan, the then defense minister, visited Varamati, Pawar invited him home. Chavan was talking to Pawar's mother and he asked her to allow Pawar to be under his wings. So his mother told Chavan that, and I'm quoting her, that all of us in the house are aligned to left ideology. But Sharad has somehow strayed to take your path, that is the Congress's path. I do not have any objection to his going with you, if he so desires. But my only expectation is that he should always stick to his own convictions and pursue that path sincerely. That was Pawar's mother telling Yashwantrao Chavan. You must be wondering what I am quoting this conversation that happened 71 years back. Well, I am quoting it in the context of Ajit Pawar's rebellion against his uncle on Sunday. Sharad Pawar's mother had no objection to his going with the Congress. The only thing she wanted was that he should stick to his convictions. I don't know if Sharad Pawar had similar thoughts on Sunday when his nephew Ajit Pawar broke away from the NCP to become Deputy Chief Minister in the Shiv Sena BJP government. My take here is that the uncle would not feel overly betrayed by his nephew. After all, he himself had become Chief Minister in 1978 by leading a group of MLAs to rebel against then Chief Minister Vasant Dada Patil. He had even defied his patron, Yashwantrao Chavan, who was against that move. In his 55-year-long political career, Sharad Pawar has done everything that it takes to occupy higher offices. He would therefore know that rebellion by his nephew was only a matter of time. He had left his ambitious nephew no choice. 63 years old Ajit Pawar couldn't have waited longer. Not after his uncle virtually declared his daughter Supriya Sule his successor. You remember how last month Sharad Pawar had appointed her one of the two national working presidents of the party in charge of Maharashtra and other states? What would have alarmed Ajit Pawar more was her appointment as chairperson of the NCP's Central Election Authority, the body that selects parties' candidates in elections. The writing on the wall was clear for Ajit Pawar. Sharad Pawar was not only making Supriya Sule his successor, but also ensuring that she has a say in the selection of candidates. As you know, Ajit Pawar has over the years developed his own fan following among party MLAs. Sharad Pawar was ensuring that in future the party MLAs would be loyal to his daughter. Basically, the NCP patriarch left nobody in doubt that he wanted his nephew to play second fiddle to his daughter for all time. Not many were therefore surprised on Sunday when he, along with 8 NCP MLAs, took oath as ministers in Eknath Shinde-led government. So this is the background of this rebellion. Now let's look at where it's headed and what it means for different stakeholders. The BJP is very happy, naturally. The party appeared to be on a shaky ground even after splitting Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena and toppling the MVA government last year. Despite its inherent ideological contradictions and with a weakened Sena, the MVA was looking electorally strong. You remember there was a Sakal Group survey which showed the NDA trailing from the MVA by about 8 percentage points. The Congress even snatched Kasbapet assembly seat from the BJP, which had held it for close to 3 decades. That was in March. The BJP could not afford to ignore these warning signals from a state that sends 48 members to the Lok Sabha. Besides, the BJP wasn't even looking sure about the Eknath Shinde faction's strength on the ground. Although Shinde brought 39 MLAs with him, what's crucial for him and the BJP is the shift of Shiv Senics, the party's vote bank. As I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, a senior BJP leader told Amit Shah in one of the meetings in Mumbai that Shiv Senics were not shifting their loyalty to Shinde's Sena as they were expecting. That's why the Shinde government has been delaying elections to around 200 municipalities and 23 municipal corporations. What was also making BJP, rather Devendra Fadnavis, uneasy was a clear signal from Eknath Shinde that he wasn't there to keep the CM's chair warm for Fadnavis. A recent newspaper advertisement by the Sena claimed that more Maharashtrians supported Shinde as the chief minister than Fadnavis. Although the two sorted it out, at least publicly, this episode sent an unambiguous message to Fadnavis that Eknath Shinde is not going to be a pushover and is not treating his job as a night watchman. Shinde is looking to stay as the CM much beyond 2024. Fadnavis obviously had not bargained for it when he engineered defections in the Shiv Sena and brought the Uddhav Thackeray-led government down. That's why Ajit Pawar's rebellion against his uncle came as a big relief to the BJP, especially Devendra Fadnavis. If Ajit Pawar brings enough number of MLAs with him, just about enough to provide a majority even without Shinde's Sena, it would keep Shinde and his ambitions in check. Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar, who is from the BJP, has to decide on the disqualification of Shinde and 16 other Sena MLAs. As long as the BJP depended on the Sena for a majority, it's anybody's guess what Narvekar would decide. But with Ajit Pawar and his MLAs on the BJP's side, Shinde and his party colleagues would think twice before flexing muscles. But wait, as one says, picture abhi baki hai. It's not over yet. The BJP may have to wait before busting crackers. Let's look at the two possible scenarios. The first scenario is that Ajit Pawar manages to get 2/3 of the 53 NCP MLAs on his side to escape disqualification under the anti-defection law. In the NCP's context, it means 36 out of 53 MLAs. The problem here is that Ajit Pawar has not so far shown the strength of his side. Some say he has the support of 27 MLAs, some others say this number is 40, and some even say 43 out of 53. But these are only claims. Even Ajit Pawar has not specified the exact number. He and 8 NCP MLAs took oath on Sunday, so we know that number. At the Raj Bhavan on that day, there were 16-17 NCP MLAs. So we can assume that till Sunday, 16-17 MLAs were with Ajit Pawar. But that's not enough. He knows he can't underestimate his uncle, Sharad Pawar. At 82 and ailing, Senior Pawar may not be the best bet for ambitious and insecure NCP MLAs, but he is still the last person they would want to upset. The nephew might have a tight grip on the organization and might enjoy support among legislators and workers, but he doesn't have his uncle's mass appeal. For many non-BJP, non-Sena voters in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar is the only differentiating factor between the NCP and the Congress. If the ED merely naming Sharad Pawar in a money laundering case in 2019 could make him the face of the opposition and turn the table on the BJP, how would the betrayal of the octogenarian leader by his own nephew and party colleagues play out in Maharashtra? Are rebel NCP MLAs and leaders really convinced that Ajit Pawar has become such a mass leader that they can get away with ditching Sharad Pawar? I would say unlikely. As you must have noticed in the past 3 days, most of the NCP MLAs are silent. They must be weighing their options and calculating the cost of ditching Sharad Pawar. If Ajit Pawar is not able to muster the numbers, it will be a repeat of 2019 when he was sworn in as Deputy CM but had to return to his uncle in 3 days as he could manage the support of barely half a dozen party MLAs. The BJP and Fadnavis must be hoping that Ajit has planned it much better this time, because if one looks at the second scenario of Ajit Pawar not getting the 2/3 of NCP MLAs on his side, it will be a disaster. It will not only embarrass the BJP, but will also weaken its position vis-a-vis Sindh's Sena. Eknath Shinde knows how Ajit Pawar's entry into the NDA camp has weakened his bargaining power, and he must be smarting. If Ajit Pawar fails to deliver for the BJP, Shinde will give it back to the BJP for sure. But it's all hypothetical. Both Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar are expected to hold separate meetings with their camp followers on Wednesday. We should then know who stands where. For now, let's assume that the first scenario holds and Ajit Pawar has at least 35 NCP MLAs standing by him. That will probably be the time for the BJP to burst crackers. That will mean that Fadnavis has already delivered Maharashtra to Prime Minister Modi in 2024 Lok Sabha election. Mind you, I am adding probably when I say time to burst crackers. That's because the new NDA in Maharashtra may also pose newer problems. Look at the NDA's triumvirate in Maharashtra, Trimurti or triumvirate. A chief minister who is looking to stay in the chair for much longer than his allies would want. A deputy chief minister who was hoping to return as the CM but was forced to accept his demotion. And a second deputy CM, Ajit Pawar, who betrayed his uncle in pursuit of his ambitions because he was not inclined to play second fiddle to anyone for long. Think of how these three ferociously ambitious individuals, Fadnavis, Shinde and Pawar, would be pursuing their individual objectives and ambitions in coming months. If inherent ideological contradictions formed the underbelly of the three-party MVA, conflicting ambitions in the newly formed three-party NDA in Maharashtra make it look vulnerable. Then there are other issues. 2.5 dozen Sena MLAs have been waiting for Eknath Shinde to pay them back for coming with him. Shinde is of course very generous with his MLAs in terms of distribution of resources. But these MLAs have been eyeing ministerial berths. That's what has been holding back the state cabinet expansion for a year. Now, after the induction of 9 new ministers from the NCP, there are only 14 vacancies in the Council of Ministers. And there are so many claimants, not just in the BJP and the Shiv Sena. Ajit Pawar must also be offering ministerial berths to other MLAs for them to join him in the rebellion, in his rebellion. Even if it finally works out for the triumvirate, each of them will be spending the next 1 year trying to keep their flock together. And then think of the complexity in ticket distribution when elections come. 1 CM and 2 aspiring CMs would then be going out of the way to get the maximum number of tickets for their party colleagues to ensure that the maximum number of MLAs are on their side when elections are over. And there will be seats which would be claimed by each of these 3 parties. And this tussle is likely to start much sooner than later. That's why I say, picture abhi baki hai. There will be a lot of twists and turns in this unfolding drama. As political observers with little stake in any of these parties, we have very exciting times ahead. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.